So I'm coming on here on YouTube and I'm making a video again. This video has to do with what's going on in Iran, and I'm going to show you some clips from some newscasts from recently and one from the past. And this should help you kind of maybe get an understanding of where we're going with this situation, and the fact that I believe we're probably going to go to war in this situation. And the only reason I believe that is because of what was said in the past, and I don't know, just the nature of things and the way they start to fall into place. If you honestly believe that after 9/11 that was actually done by people taking over a plane with a box cutter, maybe you should rethink your situation and rethink the situation. Because I mean, that's just kind of ridiculous for all those things to happen all at one time. All those planes to be taken hijacked with box cutters, knowing that the cabs of planes get closed up and you're not going in there. But I've heard all kinds of scenarios. I understand all sides of it. But if you honestly think about how ridiculous that is, and then the building's going down and they look like they've been demolition, for sure. It only takes eyes to see, and you have to really open your mind. But as far as the war thing goes, we know the Bush administration told us that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. And we go over there and just pretty much try to take oil and try to take over the country and change it all up, which we did. And in turn, we've brought drugs into our country, and in turn, we've stole oil for them, and in turn, we have turned our country and all the countries of the world upside down. The NSA, the TSA, I mean, it's just we all can't even count the endless things of names that just come out of this situation. Our national security is on high, but yet we lose planes, in the middle of the ocean, and can't find them. They just disappear. Everybody on the plane's got phones, and we all know you can use your phone on the plane. Come on, guys. We have to start using some common sense here. I'm not telling you to be afraid, because the Bible tells you not to be afraid, but pray about everything. But watch this.
In a story that continues to develop quickly, we have new information coming out of Iran. The Iranian regime says it is ending all commitments under the 2015 nuclear deal. In a statement, the Iranian government says it will no longer limit its enrichment of uranium, abandoning the accord's key provisions that block Tehran from having enough material to build an atomic weapon. The statement says, in part, the Islamic Republic of Iran will end its final limitations in the nuclear deal, meaning the limitation in the number of centrifuges. Therefore, Iran's nuclear program will have no limitations in production, including enrichment capacity and percentage and number of enriched uranium and research and expansion. However, Iran says the government would continue its cooperation with the International Atomic Agency and return to the nuclear deal if sanctions against it were removed and Iran's interests were guaranteed.
So now you've seen that, and you've seen what they just said there, right? That means they're telling you that they are going to decide they are going to start trying to create nuclear weapons. I mean, it's either some major propaganda, and if it's true, that means they're really serious, and we're going to take this to another level. But let's listen to what Bush said in the past.
In my view, what justifies everything is the removal of a threat. I mean, Saddam Hussein, weapons or no weapons, which would have been a threat had he remained in power. I mean, sometimes you should be judged by the decisions you don't make. In other words, a decision to leave him in power, in my judgment, would have been a decision that could have created enormous chaos in the world. In other words, one could envision a nuclear arms race between Saddam and Iran, and then they'd have been saying, wait a minute, the failure to act created enormous stress.
Did you leave the world in a better place than you found it?
Oh, I think so, absolutely. I think when 50 million people who used to live under brutal tyrants are free, that's better. I think when I know that people are now living better lives on the continent of Africa thanks to the generosity of the American people. I mean, obviously, it's going to take time for history to fully tell the story, but yeah, I believe that. I believe the world's better.
So after seeing that little snippet that Bush said, do you think that it's a better country now? Don't you see where we may be going? Don't you see that this whole time that they are saying, like he said, it'll all play itself out in the end? And it surely is playing itself out in the end. So, what does he mean by the end? Does he mean the end of what? I'm not, speculating that he is going to create the end. But I sure believe he made a pathway for all of these things that are happening now. And I think for anyone who has an open mind and a thought of their own, you can see clearly that every single president that we've had for a long time has pretty much paved the way for this to happen. These presidents have always said, we are waiting and we are going to have a new world order. You don't know what a new world order is? Look on your dollar bill. Look what it says under the banner. It says New World Order in Latin. I mean, they're telling you what's happening. The Bible tells you in Revelations there's going to be a one world government. So, it's not hard to see. I mean, if you don't believe that, you think that it's all propaganda and we're trying to lead everyone to fear. There sure is a lot of people dying just to scare someone into believing something that they think is supernatural, or trying to convince you that it's not supernatural. So which one is it, guys? Is it coming? Is this it? Is this the war we've been all talking about, that we all been waiting on? Is it even going to happen? I don't know. Do you think that Trump is watching out for this country and that he's looking out for this, or do you think that he may be a puppet in this situation as well? Things sure are playing out, just like they always do. They say history always repeats itself. It sure does sound real familiar with what this woman was saying and what he said. Think about it.